Okay, this unit is 2.2. And in this unit, we're going to talk about logic reasoning. There are some basic vocabularies that you need to understand. This is a vocabulary intensive and abstract concepts intensive unit. So pay close attention to the definition of these. And when you construct these statements, it makes life a lot easier. And later on, you're going to use these to do proofs, which can be challenging for some students. Okay, so let's first take a look at what is a statement. A statement is a sentence that's either true or false. And this is called the truth value. And we'll see how we express that later. We represent a statement using small letters, such as P or Q, just so that we don't confuse ourselves with X, Y, Z, which we often use in algebra, right? So here's an example. Statement P, supplementary angles have a sum of 180 degrees. And in this case, the truth value is a T, meaning this is a true statement based on our very last unit. Now, a negative statement a negative statement is called a negation. So a negation of a statement has the opposite truth value. And we use this little weekly. I know we use this weekly for a lot of things. When we talk about congruencies, we used it in pre-algebra. You all learned approximate. We have two of these as opposed to be an equal sign. Those are two different things, right? Congruency looks like this, and now we have just a single weekly to show something is not something. So if you take a look at here, this is how we, there we go. This is, with that weekly thing, this is how we negate a statement. So when we say supplementary angles do not have a sum of 180, and that's a negation from our previous statement. And unfortunately, the truth value for this one is false. Now, we can join two sentences together, two statements together. So when we say two statements or two or more statements, two or more statements joined by the words and, A-N-D, and, or I capitalize these two words. So those are called compound statements. I'm going to move my sheet of paper upward. So let's see how we do that. And before we join statements, we need to also understand conjunction and disconjunction. So when we join the statements together using the word and, that's called a conjunction, and we use this little hat to represent that. So it's P and B. And when both statements are true, so when both statements are true, the conjunction is also true. And when we use the word or to join the statements together, it's called disjunction, and we use a little V-unt like that. And so that's true when at least one statement is true. So here are some examples. Take a minute to read these three examples. There are 7 days in a week, and statement Q is March has 30 days, and R is Halloween is on October 31st. So when we're asked to join the statements, so when we talk about P and Q, P and Q, so all we need to do is to join these statements together. So we say there are 7 days in a week and March has 30 days. Does March have 30 days? I think March has 31 days actually. So I'm going to change that. It's 31 days. That's a mistake. So all you need to do is to copy down the first statement. There are 7 days in a week, and that represents that little hat, right? And March has 31 days, right? And we know that this is a true statement, this is a true statement, this is a true statement. So when we are joining two true statements together, we end up having a truth value that's T, that's true. So next, if we do P or R, so we simply join them together by saying with an R, with an or. So we say March has 31 days. Q and R. So we say March has 31 days and Halloween is on October 31st. So I'm not going to write out the whole thing. So you say March has 31 days again, and right, Halloween is on October 31st, and this also is true. Third example, we have P and R. So again, there are 7 days in a week, which is true, in a week. And so you see the little hat in the middle, you just add and we're joining P and R. R is Halloween is on October 31st. So again, two true statements make a third true statement when you are making a conjunction. Next example, so not P and Q. So now we need to negate the original statement. So there are not. I'm going to write that out. There are not. This is what I'm adding in, right? 7 days in a week. I wish that is the case, especially for weekend. It could be longer. And we still use an and to join the statement. Halloween is on October 31st. So in this case, we obviously have a statement that's false. So this statement is false and this statement is true. But because it's a conjunction, the final answer of this is false. Obviously, put together, this statement is false. So number 5, let's look at number 5. 5, I have P is what? P is there are 7 days in a week. And now we are making a disjunction, so that's an or. That's an or here. So you just need to say there are 7 days in a week. Now we just put or in. Or Halloween is on October 31st, right? There's 7 days in a week, or Halloween is on October 31st. Either one is true, so that's a true statement. For number 6, not Q or R. So we have to negate Q, which is March. Original statement is March has 31 days, so we say March does not have 31 days. So I just took care of the negation in the front, and now I need to take care of the disjunction, and then I put an or in, and I say Halloween is on October 31st. So in this case, this true value is true because, let's see, we know this is false and this is true, but because of this or, at least one of them is true. So this the statement put together is true. Number 7, not P or not R. So P is, I think, 7 days in a week, right? So there are not 7 days in a week. And then we have an or in here, and another negation of R. R is Halloween. So Halloween is not on October 31st. So notice that we need to negate both statements, and then we need to put an or in between. In this case, the original statement, the first half of the statement is false, and the second half of the statement is false as well. So together, neither one is right, so we have a false statement. Number 8, not P or not Q. So there are not 7 days in a week, or March does not have 31 days. So let's see, there are not 7 days in a week, or March does not have 31 days. Okay, so that's the final answer of that's the answer for some of this. And oh, I forgot that this last one is false, because this is a false statement and this second half is a false statement. So scroll it down, finish the rest of it. This part comes easy for some students, and for others it is a little bit more challenging, but it's really because kids sometimes, well, I shouldn't say kids anymore, you guys are high schoolers, students sometimes rush through things. So slow it down, read the original statement, take it apart. If it has a negation in the front, like this, what I mean by that is the wiggly in the front, then you put a not in there. And then the next is to identify, do you have an and statement or do you have an or statement? On the next page, I am not going to go through this. If you understood the first half, this part is really self-explanatory. And that gives you a guidance, basically, of what's true, what's not true. But even without the truth table, you notice that when we walk around in the street every day, trying to take care of whatever we need to do in our lives, nobody carries a truth table. So you really should be able to draw each conclusion based on your own analysis of what you just practiced. So, but this is a nice way to give you a summary of what we just covered in this unit. So go through this, and the answer key again is posted online at phsmath.org, and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you, guys.